Hey, morning, evening, somewhere around there, guys. I'm sorry, I'm in a big hurry right now. The reason why is I only got about half an hour to get out the door. It is September 29th right now. Right now, I say right now, a little too much. But I just did a live stream, and then right now I'm actually doing a premiere and trying to talk to everybody in the room. But I only have a half an hour to get out. The price of this place went up, so I'm actually packing up my stuff and going a little more towards town. I'm in Kota Bharu. I made it all the way around. I mentioned this last night on the video with the big fireworks. Woohoo, we're all done. Well, not technically. It's 345 kilometers to get back through the mountains with the elephants back to Georgetown. And then from there north to Siali, and then from there just probably kick back a little, do some stuff that probably needs to be, that I've been overlooking, setting stuff up on my channel, trying to get it a little more pretty around the edges, because right now it's just a little rough around the edges and all this. But the journey's never over, not for me. So guys, I'm gonna run out the door and get over to my other hostel. And that way I don't get hit with a late fee. Some spots like to do late fees around here. And every second I burn talking is a second I can be burning packing. So, all right guys, that's an update. Yeah, day 107, only about a few kilometers down the road. I don't know, 4 or 5 kilometers, and more like central in Kota Bharu. I'm going to spend one more day and get everybody completely present on my videos. So I have one to do a thumbnail on and stuff. That way, when I leave tomorrow and go over the mountains, it's fresh start. You know, it's like everybody's day to day with me and not a day behind. So all the I don't know how the signal is going to be either through the mountains area, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be different than doing the coast. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and hit the road. Well, let's get over to the other hostel or hotel. Hey guys, I know something I probably never showed you before. I'm just trying to show you a little more of the behind the scene type things. Like it's been mentioned before, they like to know how I set up my tarp or how I tie my knots, and something I don't think I've ever gone over is how I stop my backpack from its straps, here, from going down into the actual chains and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and actually kind of show you just to get up. If it's not in a plastic bag, if it's in the plastic bag, it still pretty well has the same configuration. But let's see if I can get a good angle here. So with the bags, I usually just take the actual belt itself, and I take the parts for going over your shoulders, the shoulder straps, and I place the belt through and through. That way it tucks the shoulder straps towards the center, right? And then I do a full wrap around, so all the way around and back underneath the shoulder straps behind. And I made sure that I tightened off the belt good enough where it clicks at the right. And then behind it, so it's actually holding the straps in. Now that's not going to stop these from going down. And sometimes these can get pretty long where they actually could get caught in the spokes. So if you have if it's in good weather, just grab your rain fly and put it on backwards. So you'll be putting it on the reverse part. So it's actually just going over the straps themselves. That way nothing falls out and gets stuck in your spokes and stuff. So it's actually on backwards. It's actually holding in all the straps. And now I can actually just take this, put it up here, and tie it off, and the interior frame holds it nice and flat all the way across. So you don't really need to have the pannier bags if you don't want to do a pannier. If you have a good interior frame or exterior frame on your backpack, you can easily just do what I just did and tie it off. And most of all of Vietnam and stuff, I didn't get pannier bags until I got here in Malaysia. So, and this worked very good with just a 35-liter backpack, you know. So yeah, you don't need all the fancy equipment at all. You can get by with just the bare minimum, and then just figure out how to tie it off, which I think I've showed before in the past, how I tie it off. And these bungee cords work great. The bungee are like just a rubber, big old rubber bands, strap it down that way. But yeah, okay guys, now you know how I avoid getting all these different moving parts of the backpack from getting stuck in my spokes and causing me to have an accident. All right, that's all. Well, I figured I might as well just film the rest of this, so you know. So everything's nice and tucked in, the bag's on backwards, and then everything just relies on the interior frame. So on the back, where my pannier bags are already on, but all you need is one of these back racks, and it sets sideways. Now you're gonna have a little bit of a bump where it wants to sit one way or the other, because remember you have the belt and the all that right down this. So I kind of offset it just a little where it's not quite on that belt, but it's going to be lopsided a little bit anyway. You're just going to have to move around all the stuff that's in your backpack until it sits about, you know, pretty nice. Give it a shake too. You know, most of this stuff's just going to be clothing and stuff anyway, so you can mold it around a little easier. Then the bungees, I use these giant rubber bands. That's all they had over in Vietnam, but they seem to work out really well. I just have a regular loop on this side. So this is just a regular loop. I have it on my seat right now, but when I pull it tight, and these two just go underneath and then pull back on it, and then I tie it off down below. Down here. So let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. So these two straps come up. This is just a loop. It just goes from like a horseshoe loop. This is all one piece, by the way. And then it's just basically coming back and over and then tying down. So I know this isn't the best visual, but this is basically what I'm working as a tie down. Like I said, these two straps go all the way underneath and form a loop. Just basically, it's one continuous piece around, and that's the part that I'm stretching back. And these two side end pieces right here, I'm feeding back up underneath and then pulling taut this way and then tying off. So this was actually something that I saw a way to tie off on a YouTuber called First Class Amateur. He's a knot expert, man. He knows everything about knots. But it was for tying off when you have a sleeping bag and you want to tie off your sleeping bag or whatever to the top of your backpack using just your shoulder straps, and how to tie it off. And it's the same concept. All I'm doing is turning it a little sideways and using my rack as the tie off point. But it's the same tie that he actually uses in one of his videos, and it's actually, I found, to be the most functional with these type of straps right here. And it's, like I said, this is just a giant rubber band. If you can find these, and you can see that if they broke before, and that's just a repair job. So I've had to repair this a few times, but in reality, this is the same one. I actually had two of these, and I ended up just getting rid of one of them because that's how long that's because I never needed a spare backup because they're pretty strong. But then again, I haven't ran into them since. You know, I've checked in a lot of these hardware shops and stuff, and they have the regular bungees, just not the big rubber band style. And these stretch a lot better than inner tubes. So I know some people are like, oh, just use an inner tube. The inner tubes don't have the same stretch capacity as these rubber bands do. And when you cinch them down nice and tight and tie them, you don't need a knot or anything. You just need one single knot, you know, not a double knot, just a single knot. And the tension from the tension that's on the rubber band itself cinches it down. So anyway, I don't mean to go over too much on my equipment, but I know that's something I've been lacking a lot in the past, is just kind of showing my configurations and how I carry my gear. And I might as well start doing that, you know? All right, guys, that's all. Well, I made it down here. I was getting ready to do some filming. I'm right on the river here, guys. So you can see behind me, G Home Hotel. That's actually the one I'm going into. And I got riverfront viewing. It is, what time is it? It's 2:30. I got caught up talking to some people that were travelers. I know I should probably filmed it, but I wasn't really thinking about that. Yeah, so it's nice. Nice right here on the river. Like I said, I moved because this spot was $5, but then, or $6, $5 or $6, but they hit me with a bunch of fees. So it came out to like $9 after taxes, and I still have to pay 5 ringgit in cleaning fees when I get in. And yeah, but it's under my $10 threshold, so I'm good. Anyway, I'm gonna unpack and get in and start figuring out a thumbnail for my latest video, and then I'll probably walk around and do some filming around here. But I want to try and get that other video up while I can before it gets too late. All right, guys, this is my place. Well, I'll give you a quick tour of the room here. I'm on 204, so second floor, and it's pretty standard. You got the bed, home sweet home, and an AC that seems to be working pretty good, although the remote doesn't really work for it. Bathroom, standard toilet, and hot water shower. At least I'm hoping it's hot water. And not the biggest room. The other spot was definitely probably a better value, but still not bad. Let me go show you the porch here. Actually, I don't find that to be a bad view. I like the old buildings. The patio's definitely seen better days. Wow. I don't know if this is all part of the same hotel. If it is, I would definitely invest in a dumpster and get rid of some of this. Yeah, no, I think this is a shared patio. So I think this right here, where you can see the difference in tile, this is the part that's owned by the hotel, and the rest is separate businesses, is what I'm guessing. Yeah. So that's it, guys. I'm here for so it was kind of ridiculous because after all the taxes and stuff like that, there's the 5 ringgits cleaning fee, but then Kota Bharu also has a separate tax on top of that, which is another 2 ringgits. So an additional 7 ringgits. So the room that started off as a, well, $6, let's say $6 room, ends up running about $12. Yeah, about $12 total. So which is that's almost like 100% markup. When you go from $6 up to $12, that is 100% markup in taxes. So yeah, there's 100% tax on everything. So I know I keep complaining about it. I just wish Malaysia could do something about all the taxes and fees that are being, because it doesn't have to be that way. I've been to spots that only charge the straight out 10 ringgit 10 ringgit tax, and I appreciate that, honestly. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead, kick back for a little bit, and do some catch up, and maybe I'll go out exploring later. All right, bye. So there's the building I'm staying in. Actually, the green stripe is the on the building right there. That's where I'm located, up on the 2nd floor. But what I didn't know is I am right here at the waterfront, right? But one of the more recognizable landmarks of Kota Bharu is right next to me. It's the clock tower. So yeah, I was like, oh, interesting. I'm like right by the clock tower here. So yeah, that's me, and that's the clock tower. So anyway, guys, I'm just trying to get out and do some filming. I have a premiere that I set for just here in just like, well, like right now. But I'm done. I'm all set. I did the thumbnail, the title, all the descriptions, put in all the information they want. And yesterday's video is now premiering. So I'm up and current. So when I take off from here and start heading tomorrow over the mountains and through elephant country and all that stuff, I'll be, I might not have a signal out there. So any backlog, I'll be kind of able to keep up with. Anyway, I'm just here to explore now. Well, I didn't have to go far to get to get food. I just stepped out, and look at this restaurant right here. I just very good price. Yeah, I just ran into this. Look at that, it's awesome food right there. And anyway, I got 2 things of chicken, some rice, and some vegetables and stuff. They were only 8 ringgits each, so I got 2 of them. That's ridiculously good price. So let me zoom up. Got curry fish, very helpful here. And I ended up getting the chicken. So yeah, awesome store. There's the what they look like. But now I'm gonna go in search of a drink, and then because it's hot right now, guys. Hang on. Try and do that with a camera in my hand. And the facial tracking's not on right now because sometimes that can be a pain in the butt. So I'm off searching for some liquids, and then I'm gonna head back to my spot and get out of the sun for a bit until it cools down. Well, I already scarfed one of them down. I decided I better get one of them on video. That's a healthy amount of chicken, a big nice portion of rice, some fresh vegetables, and it gives me a chance to catch up on a little Planet Doug here. It's nice to be able to relax and just drink a Mountain Dew, watch a little Planet Doug, and have a meal. Ah, man, it's so nice to actually know that the peninsula has been done. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to, yeah, that's, this is like super good. They have some type of hot sauce that they put on top of it. So good for $2, you know? How can you go wrong? And it's just right outside my door. So, the location, the deal's not as good. Let me pause Doug here. The value is not as good as the other spot, but the other spot, the other hotel, was good value. But their location was still 5 kilometers away from town. So, you know, it's a 5-point-something kilometers to get here, which isn't a big distance on your bicycle. But if you guys are thinking about staying in there, I'd say yeah, if you get it on a good deal. But the thing is, there's not a lot around there. It's located on the road to get in. So this one, much better, right by the clock tower. The place to get a meal was right down the street. Now, grocery store wise, I had to go over to the 7-Eleven, which wasn't real far, but it was a little bit farther out. If you're walking on bicycle, very close to get a Mountain Dew. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna finish eating, and I'm just gonna relax and watch Doug for a little while until it cools down. It's mighty hot out there right now, and then do some evening exploring. Hi, guys.
Yeah, that's why the camera I have a strap. Same reason, you know, try not to lose it. But
Look at them clouds. So what's that noise, you'd probably be asking? That would be people on high-speed motorboats having a good old time. Here, let's go look at them. I mean, if you got a river like this, you might as well enjoy it. Look at how big this river is, guys. So yeah, there's a few of them just opening up throttle. Let's see, I can zoom in on this guy, I think. Not quite. Okay, that's about as close as I can get. But you can see him out there. See if I can actually get a little closer to the action here. Yeah, they're having a good old time. This guy's getting ready to take off. Let's see if I can get him. There he is. Ooh. Man, that's got some good brakes on it for a boat. I got a pretty good, I mean, it's not like a huge crowd, but I got a few people, spectators, including myself. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Man, that looks so fun. Okay, they're gonna race. There they go. That's pretty awesome. That's right outside my window too. Well, actually, I'm facing the opposite way. But that's kind of cool that those things are just here in the town. People having a good time. Yeah, it brings a smile to my face. Like, all right, I'm gonna take a bicycle ride, guys. That was kind of cool seeing that, but I'm just gonna take an evening bicycle ride and then get back to the hotel and start planning out my route that I want to take through the mountains. See if there's spots that I can stop along the way for charging my devices and stuff. I know, or maybe scope out a few camping spots, because since I'm going into the jungle and maybe more of a dangerous area when it comes to elephants and stuff, that having this pre-planned out just a little might be a little more beneficial to me than, I mean, I'll still do the play by ear type thing, but maybe just kind of see maybe where the hotel routes might be along the way, that because every 5 days, it shouldn't take me 5 days, but it's going to take me at least 4. So yeah, probably no signal, and I'll probably need to at least stop one time for juice up my devices. So, all right guys, time to hit the bicycle and take a ride. All right, another historical landmark right here, which is right outside my door pretty well, just down the street. I'm not sure if these are supposed to be representing the pillars of Islam, but very well known spot. So just running into little things, basically film before the sun sets completely on me, and I'm just kind of snooping around. So as I step back a little, I do believe these are the pillars of Islam, because I do believe that's supposed to represent the Holy Quran up top. And you see on each one, there's representative of a book opened on a book holder. So let's see, here you go. And something to read right over here. Well, it's 7:30. I'm just back here at my spot. Just looking how they set up everything here. I'm actually right there. You can see the green sign that says G Home. OG Home. But yeah, it's just got a nice little setup here at night. They set out the tables here. They got the lights. The weird spot I ate was just right down there on the left. But it looks like some other food vendors set up a little restaurant. Too bad. I ate so much though. I'm completely stuffed. But if you're ever at this hotel, like I said, they got everything's pretty well right outside your door. So I wanted to actually film this just because I thought it was a nice little setup here. But I'm getting back. I have to get back in. 7:30 is a little late now. I just decided to throw in this little bit towards the end. I'm gonna have to start planning out my route here. For tomorrow, I'm gonna hit the road again, start pushing westbound. And I kind of want to, like I said earlier, I want to kind of have a little bit clue where I'm going. So this is where I'm going to say goodnight, y'all. And yeah, nice night tonight.